What is up, YouTube? So this is my first video ever on YouTube, aside from the intro video. This is my first video that you will be seeing that actually has something worth watching. This is the project. It is a 1998 Birel AR4 with a Yamaha KT100. So let's jump right into it. I'm excited about what this channel is going to bring, and I'm excited to see what we got rolling. So this is what we got. This is a 30mm axle that has been converted to two-stroke somewhat. It has not been set or anything yet, but let's jump in. So the first thing that I want to look at doing with this KT100 is getting everything lined up. So the KT100 in any motor really that you have is set up on a motor mount between 5 degrees, 15 degrees, what have you. This one I'm not sure what it is. I haven't really checked because I got this off a trade. But every engine you set on, I mount the same way. As you can see over there, I've got a LO206 that I've had on here that came off the same way. That clone sitting down there, this is a tag engine that's already set up, ready to go. This is how it came off the track. It's got the same thing. It's got a motor mount set up the same way. So, and all motor mounts are very similar. This is the air box that will go on it later, and this is your motor mount pieces here. So always have an impact driver. It's very, very important. What I'm doing here is I'm taking off this third bearing support mount so that I can get to the chain, the clutch easier, so on and so forth. So here's your chain. It's a 219 chain. One thing I have found on the big difference is 35 versus 219 chain. On my karts, all my 4-stroke karts, I run 35 chain. Some guys will run 219 because it does something to their karts that they love. I have never tried it. It's something that I've never attempted to do, but that's how some people like it, so that's how some people do it. Some people think it's faster, what have you, whatever. I've never tried it, like I said. So this is ideally how it goes on. Now I still have the 35 gear on here, so what I want to do now is take this 35 gear off. So when taking the 35 gear off, it's important to check to don't lose any pieces. That's one of the biggest, most important things when you're pulling these off, is not to lose any pieces, because if you lose pieces, then you'll never find them back, and then you just are frustrated for the rest of the day. So I use an impact driver when I'm pulling stuff off because frankly it's just faster, and I like to be fast about my things. So what we're gonna need is probably a 5 impact, or a 5 Allen head. If you don't have a 5, I recommend you use a 5. But if you don't, I am one of those guys that uses the substitute, the SAE substitute, on little things like this. Little things that come loose easy, little things that aren't as big of a problem. Now if you have something super tight, you want to use the actual size. If you use the SAE equivalent, then things can get stuck. You can strip bolts and nuts, and then you got an even bigger headache on your hands. So, but stuff like this, just to be quick about it, I find the equivalent to a 5mm, which in this case is a 3/16 Allen socket, or Allen T head. T handles they come in handy so much, just like the ones I'm using now. I've got a set of both SAE and metric because I run 2 karts consistently, sometimes 3 karts, and sometimes even up to 4, and they are of different nationality, meaning some karts are American and some karts are metric. So it's important to have a good set of both. Just like here, how this is a metric. This is Birel is an Italian kart. It was made in Europe, so all the parts on it are going to be metric, and that's how I like to keep it. I do like to keep my karts. If you do have spare parts lying around, I recommend that you keep your metric with your metric, so that way you're not working on your metric kart and none of your metric pieces fit, and then you have, like I said, another headache. It's almost like I'm talking from experience here, but it's because I am. So I didn't want to come out of there. So I'm a very hands-on guy. When I started racing, I was, I think, 12, and I'm always in the shop doing something. There goes the first part of the sprocket, and the second part of the sprocket comes right off like that. So now I have successfully taken the sprockets off. So now that that's off, we can replace it with a 219. I am not sure what to run at the track that I usually run at with a KT100, so I'm gonna just go with the first thing that I have a lot of, which is a 78. These are all my 219 gears up here in my trailer. I like to keep everything organized, somewhat, kind of, to save me from going insane. Because during a race, when I need something, I don't go, oh stink, where'd that go? This here is my pride and joy. This is my pride and my joy. It is a 2014 FA Victory S. It basically a Tony kart. It's a tag kart. It is fast. It handles beautifully. It has seen its fair share of action. I gotta get it clean. I gotta get it out and clean it because I got one more race this year. It's the final race of the I-55 race here in Southern Illinois. It's at Gateway Motorsports Park, and I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a fun race. But this is my pride and joy. This is basically my life savings. So it's a fantastic kart. I love it. I plan to use it for years to come, and so yeah, that's my soapbox on my baby. That's why I'm single and have no money. So, but here it is. This is a 78 tooth, 219 rear gear. So now that that is on, we want to set it evenly along the sprocket hub. Going from a 219 or from a 35 to a 219 can have its difficulties, some of which can include you having to buy a new sprocket hub because one of them doesn't fit on the other one, and whatever and whatnot and what have you. But this one is not the case, because this is a universal sprocket hub that you can use both 35 and 219 on, which is a good thing because everybody likes to save money, just like me, even though I've spent a lot of it over the years. So I'm really excited to see how this kart will react with a KT100 on it. I am going to have it for sale after I get it completed and fixed up. I've got a lot of things I want to do to it before I let it go, but until then, she's mine, and it's going to be a fun show. Alright. So this is probably going to be the end of it for the first video. We're going to get this successfully changed here. And what you want to do is, once you get all these on, is tighten it up, tighten them slowly, and tighten each one individually without cranking them tight. This will bring the sprocket hub to be level and even, and not just we just want them to be snug. We don't want them to be super tight, because then it won't go, when you've got them all tight, they won't get, the sprocket hub will move. So now we can tighten them up, and that will do it. So now that is on, and it is on well. It's if you notice, there's a little hop in it, which means it's not completely straight. I have that problem on a lot of my stuff. My FA has that, but it's a thing where it does not give me any problems. I've never thrown a chain on it because of that problem. So now we are hooked on. Very barely on. So as you can see, I gotta get this off of here, just like that. Bunch of zip ties. It's amazing what zip ties will do. So as you can see, if you want to look down the line here, that it's not straight, and in the next video I'll show you how to straighten that out. So